Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Summit Premier League Season 6, Week 1. Today we've got Possum Posse versus Anglers Won't Back Down. I'm joined by my wonderful play-by-play caster, Banana Bread, and we are right into Drafter.
Looking at these teams, obviously it's a draft league, so really not too much to expect. Lots of different varying ranks. Lowest in this game is Silver 2, highest is D1 here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of strats these teams kind of cook up to see what's going to throw it down here on this rift for a best of 3.
I mean, the exciting thing about draft leagues, people taking it slightly less seriously, obviously, everybody still wants to win, is we can see some fun pocket picks come out. I'm not sure I really noticed all too much skimming over their OPGGs, but we've got maybe like a Vladimir that can come out. We've been playing a bit of Aurora as well, but it'll be interesting to see how they go. We've got Pike ban, and then obviously Sinner everywhere in the world. The Skarner has to be banned away, but you can see now Talon on Z are being banned away on opposite sides. Not typically what we see at organized play, but yeah. So it's the first week of these draft leagues. Do we know when the draft was? How much time these... So these
Last
teams have
Saturday.
not had a lot of time together at all. So it's going to be a fun night, I would expect anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, overall.
Less conventional bands here.
Yeah, all the bands are pretty much
just
the mains. It's just literally their mains.
Yeah.
Like you look at the top of the op.ggs, you're like, yeah, let's ban these things. But it's mostly like targeting the higher ranked players, but nothing too crazy. It's pretty normal stuff if you actually do your scouting. But curious to see what Posse is gonna first pick here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd probably expect Victor. Victor is like S tier. Corky's also S tier, so not surprising that's a first pick.
Yeah, Corky is S tier. We ban away all the mains, and then we just pick the meta. So Corky, he's a little bit of that that flex potential. Normally, nowadays though, we do see him towards the bot lane, and AD carry does have the potential for mid lane. Not sure we'll see that, and it's going to be responded with Caitlyn.
It looks like both players, like the ADC and the mid laner, both play Corky, so it is a strong flex pick.
Okay.
Caitlyn picked up. Caitlyn, it's in a weird spot. Like you have to be really good at it. It has great setup potential.
Yep.
But it's a pretty strong pick into Corky. You just have that range, have that poke. The base damage is really high early, so it's really good. So see what gets picked here. Probably expect like a jungle pick here. Maybe something like the Amumu or Maokai. Maokai also another strong flex.
It is a strong flex. I mean, normally these Maokai and Corky, they are flexes, and Maokai does have that strong flex potential. You do normally see him towards the jungle, though, especially with a Caitlyn AD carry. I don't think you would want to see it in support, but definitely the opportunity to flex up to the top lane here.
That's the great thing about the meta.
Sorry?
You just have so many flex picks. You have so many options in the draft, and Possum Posse gonna have a lock in Renata. So Renata is a really nice pick here. It's a little funky to pick so early in the draft, just because like Renata is very situational. But Renata still overall is like it's not too bad as a blind pick overall. And so we're gonna see Talia. So right now it's still a lot of flexibility here for both teams here. So you really don't know where anything is going. But you do know for a fact it's going to be Renata support and Caitlyn ADC at least.
Yeah, well, you would assume so, but I don't know. I was thinking Caitlyn mid to my time. It's going to be interesting. I feel like Renata does have counters, especially when she's outranged. Those early levels can be a little difficult. But Hecarim picked up. Okay, so it's Maokai in not jungle, presumably. So you are perfectly right about the flex. Let's see if we can do a bit of scouting. See if that's.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't really from looking at the cover, not really too much going on. I mean, it's Maokai. It's pretty simple. I mean, you don't really have anything crazy to do, but it's like. So it's still, you still got a couple options. They can throw it in the top lane or they can throw it support. But it looks like we're just banning out all the strong top laners here, just off rip. So they're definitely coming in prepared for this. They expect that to be a Talia jungle with that Zed ban for Possum.
Possum Posse, they banned the Zed. They have the Talia, so I still think it could be Talia mid lane. I think Zed is also probably a pretty... Zed probably has a pretty easy time into Talia. There, as it's going to be Renekton picked up, pretty much securing that it's going to be Maokai in that support position, which I'm not sure I really like into Renata, but if it's what the support is comfortable on, that's generally the main thing in draft leagues, is you can just get what you're the most comfortable on. So if we really like the Maokai, we've been playing quite a few games of it, which I can't see, but if that is the case, then I guess I don't mind it. And
Yeah,
Renekton obviously is
Maokai.
just super solid, super safe as that blind pick in the top lane. Not too many counters. But yeah, about Maokai.
Yeah, Maokai. It's just a staple support. I mean, you have your E provides you easy vision. It's like you max it first as support usually. So what you get
Yep.
it's like a 10-second cooldown once you hit level 9. So it's just such easy picks there. So it's Talia jungle, Syndra mid, and Sion locked in for the top lane against our Renekton. So they're pretty much just hardcore weak siding uh X-ray here. So he's pretty much just going to be on a bit of an island top lane. Renekton's going to have a bit of a fun time, but let's see like kind of what they do, because in pro play a lot they've been lane swapping a ton, especially in very unfavorable matchups. In a game like this, I really don't see anything like that. I mean, top lane matchup doesn't matter too much. It's gonna be Echo locked in here. So Echo is just low key is a counter to Syndra, because
Yep.
it's very hard to time the scatter of the weak with the dive. So it's pretty much just an insta blink. So like you can't really, it's really hard to time it, and it doesn't get affected by Talia E. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. You got a lot of strong dive and engage for Angels, and then for Possum you have like a lot of disengage. You have a lot of you got a beefy front line. So it's kind of dependent on who can kill who first, and if Possum Posse can kind of back out fast enough before somebody gets blown up.
Yeah, one thing I would think about this comp is that a lot of the work is probably going to be on Corki. We're assuming it's going to be a tank style in this matchup, and Talia and Syndra, they'll kind of get shut out by a couple of the tankier members. The Hecarim, Maokai, Renekton will all probably build up quite a bit of magic resist here. So I think a lot of the responsibility to carry this game is going to fall on Corki and trying to get that Corki ahead. So if I'm Angels back down, I really want to see them try to get this Caitlyn pushing and see if they can dominate that lane a bit. That being said, they do also have a much stronger matchup in the top side. Renekton into Sion is... I mean, I've not played all too much of it, but I guess it's quite a difficult matchup for Sion, having the ability to just use the Renekton W to stop the Sion slam. I really do think I much prefer Angel's comp here, and especially that curveball coming through. You never know what an Echo's really going to do. See if they can shove that bot wave in and dive the Cork is what I want to see them do.
Yeah, absolutely right. You pretty much hit it like right on top of the nail. Like Possum Posse, they have a really strong scaling comp with the Syndra and the Corki. Talia's gonna have a little bit of a rough time ganking, not really any strong lanes going on here. But Angels, it's kind of on them to take the initiative in this game. Renekton, I mean, any Renekton matchup is just a rough matchup in general. It's it's Renekton. It's like the first like 10 minutes is unbearable until you start. But um, but overall, I mean, this game one, I got a slight edge to Angels, but it's still gonna have to wait to see. These teams only have about 1 week of prep time, so it's gonna see how much prep they've had to do in order to get the dub for this best of 3.
Yeah, and it will be... Yeah, it's certainly interesting is all I can say. I do really have worries about this bot lane, but I'm sorry, I'm just gonna producer, did you say we'll go to a break? Sorry, did you say you're in game?
Yeah, you did.
I'll take it to a break. Okay, we're gonna run to a quick break. So we'll see you in about 3 minutes once the spectator delay is over, and see you in a bit.
Welcome back, everybody, to week 1 of Summit Premier League here between Possum, Posse, and Anglers won't back down here. Already see a couple shenanigans here in the top lane. Adam unfortunately did take the wrong runes, but you know what? They're gonna ball with it. You know, it could be worse.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
it's only Aftershock on Renata. It's not the worst thing in the world, especially with all that dive. It's not that bad. Already
yeah,
X-ray
it
pulling off
will.
some bouse shenanigans here, landing 2 charge Qs.
Yeah, I do always wonder because Spouse has kind of ruined the sun a little bit in organized play. You always expect them to go full lethality, slip in the proxy, 5 deaths, but I'm not sure if they are planning on doing that this game. But yeah, Aftershock Renata, not that bad with people diving on you. Make you that little bit tankier, but probably do want Guardian for some of those trades in line. Or something like Airy to see if we can poke this Maokai down. But I don't think it's going to be all too consequential in the outcome of the game, as both junglers are starting on their blue buffs. I think I said that I think bot lane is going to be the crux of this matchup, and Corki is going to be the only one who can really carry unless Syndra gets monstrously ahead with the amount of MR that the anglers have the ability to build. But that being said, Won't Back Down is going to path to the top lane. Normally in the... Ooh, it's just a little trade. Showing the power of the Echo there in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's that power of the blink, man. But back to where you're saying about the what was it again? The gank power. You know, you're right. They have a lot of scaling power there for Possum. But I mean, it's just how you quell that early game. Overall, I mean, right now, I mean, Won't Back Down. He's gonna go top side. He's not really gonna deal with going bot side like you said before to try to put this Corki down. But Injustice not quite having a great time. He's getting chunked out a lot with those big decimates there. But right now, both junglers are pretty much on pace to clear at about the same time. They'll pretty much get their scuttles at around the same time here. But right now, nothing too crazy here. Probably expect that first death to be in the bot side. But right now, those
Echo's going in for a little deep, but they're gonna have full knowledge of where Talia is, I believe, down in that bot side jungle. As that makes the Kaelin Maokai lane just that bit safer, knowing they have to play a little bit respectful as the junglers are clearing up their clears, finishing up their clears now, sorry. And there's nothing too interesting apart from this top lane.
Yeah, the lane's pushing. Injustice is pushing that lane in, so I really don't see a gank angle happening. Both sides are kind of like just kind of breaking even, so I don't really expect a gank going on here. Just a lot more farming. But that wave is getting kind of chunky top here. Nick is kind of getting traded upon here. But bot lane, that's going to be a gank. Pulled in Savior. He's going to get slowed up, flashed out. Aftershock going to block a little bit of that damage. Top lane, he's in X-Ray. He's in his own wave. But Injustice got the Conqueror stacked up, dashing through Slice and Dice. Here comes the Hecarim. But it's going to be a solo bolo here. Injustice picking up that first kill in that top lane. But, oh, he has to force the flash away from the zombie Scion. So, right now, it's going to be 1/3 of that feat of strength going their way. But it's going to be a bit of a bot setup here. They're going to go for that dive. Very big wave here. That's going to be a pullback. No flash for Savior. He's going to go on in, get it after shock. Adam's going to take up the tower one more time. It's going to be another kill going over to the side of Possum Posse. So far, 1 for 1. That's 1 apiece. Fly forward with the headshot. No kill. He's so low. Comet Cruiser still going forward. But he's going to be pretty safe there as he still does have that barrier. Oh,
yeah,
he's getting aggressed on here. Yeah,
Corki does have the power to walk at people in this lane. He does also stack up Conqueror quite quickly, so he does have the ability in these early levels nowadays to walk forwards with the E, take away the armor. As Injustice is continuing to trade heavily onto X-Ray.
Yeah,
as
looking to matchup per usual.
Yeah, looking to just shove that wave in, probably get a nice crash. And there's nothing Scion can really do unless he does find a way to clear the wave and get the proxy Gumby power.
Oh, that's a good reaction with the flash, but he does have the ignite, and he's gonna get burnt down there. Gumby power, nice job there with the prediction of him going into that bush.
Yeah, that flash timed just a little wrong. You need to make sure you're timing the flash after the echo hits you so he doesn't follow, and you can see if you can have enough time to run away. And if you don't, the echo will follow the flash and it'll look a bit janky, but just so much pressure continuing to be applied by Gumby Powder, always shoving in these mid waves, always in this Talia's red side jungle. Seeing if he can create these advantages from the mid lane, as now both objectives are up. As they path to opposite sides, I'm assuming they're looking for a trade, as actually no, Talia, oh, X-Ray.
Oh, Injustice picking up that feat of warfare for his team with another solo kill. X-Ray just having not a great time here in the top lane, as the Grubs are going to get started up here by the side of Anglers. No real contest here. Talia is here. She's only level 4, so she's going to be forced to back off here, Savior with the first move on these Grubs. So that's going to be another feat of, a third of that feat of strength here for those objectives, as Ping's coming out for the Drake. Sign forced to ult into the top lane, but right now, Anglers are having a great time here. They have excellent momentum going into this game.
And one thing to notice, even though Talia does have that kill, is you just need to look at the CS and the XP differentials in the jungle, and a lot of that is being created by, actually, as I'm saying this,
Ooh, that's a good scatter of the week. Gumby, not in range for the ultimate. Probably wouldn't have killed, because Gumby does still have that ultimate. Injustice is going aggressive top lane here. Slicing dice. X-Ray. He is looking to get stunned up here once again, but he shouldn't get killed. Oh, X-Ray, he's still going for it. Does get that full charge decimate here, but I mean, not really too much to cast. It's just a lot of shenanigans and the usual top lane shenanigans. But Drake is still up on the table here. It's been up for about 2.5 minutes. But Anglers are getting closer to those feats of strength here. They only need 2 more neutrals.
Yeah, it's 2 more neutrals or the turrets, because this is the first game of the league. X-Ray's ticking ever so low and getting really punished here. But if we don't know what the feats of strength are, we are just watching this. It's if you get 2 of these 3 objectives, so it's the first 3 kills first, as there's a dive happening.
Injustice gonna get stunned under the tower. One more tower shot. Big shutdown going over to the Talia, as Hecarim's still clearing in that bot side. He might look for the Drake, knowing Talia is up there.
Yeah, you would like to think so, and that Drake ticks him over to another one. So you need 3 of these objectives, and then you unlock tier 3 boots, just a bit more stats. Then you, once you get 2 legendary items, you get the opportunity to purchase these tier 4 boots. They are generally not worth upgrading instantly, but they give bonuses like the Swifty boots, which are probably the ones you'll see the most give an extra 4% flat movement speed, quite strong. Or the attack speed boots give 15% move speed every time you auto-attack a champion. So generally quite strong buffs on these boots, and it is worth looking for. And the side of, Possum Posse are being whitewashed on that front, as top lanes just keep scrapping. Walking forward on Injustice, popping that Dominus. Not much is going to happen.
Great time.
Blob fishes around.
Yeah, he gets spotted on the ward here, so they're going to back off. Comp Cruiser does have that flash, does have the 50 caliber net, does have the barrier. Savior's going to go and root him up, but no knockback yet. There it is, finally going to land here. That's going to be all the layering of the CC on Savior, but he's going to flash out perfectly fine there. Caliber net going forward. There's a teleport coming into the bot lane. He's renekting. He does have that flash. Here he goes in with a stun. He's going to get the kill. That's going to be a nice big ultimate there. But there goes Gumby Power going into the tower here. He's going to get rooted up. He's going to get the kill, but forced to ult out. Not enough damage to take down them. So it's going to be a 2-for-0 here in that bot side on a play that was started by Possum Posse.
Yeah, just looking for a bit too much. They don't really have this same kind of lockdown that the Anglers do. As
oh, what? Whoa, won't back down, ulting backwards, hoping to get that fear, but he should be pretty much able to run down X-Ray here. That's a really big shield. He's getting a little low. Won't back down. Not having a lot of mana. Not the miss to decimate, but the heal's gonna be enough. Won't back down. We'll get that solo bolo here in the top lane, but the zombie's coming through. The sun doesn't quite land here, but he's coming in. Gonna point click with that ultimate. Not quite, but it's just gonna get with the ability. So it's gonna be one kill going over to the side of Possum. Posse. Top lane's gonna get pushed in here, but the Maokai is here. Gonna get the root. Gonna get the stun. Not quite. Flashing away. Nimbus cloak. That's gonna be the slow, and Blobfish is gonna get out here. Gonna knock back Savior. Gonna get a little bit more damage here as the grubs spawn up in that top side.
Yeah, grubs are up. Blobfish is maybe just a little bit tracked here, as Won't Back Down now is coming back out onto the map. Support both hovering around these grubs. Both teams really want them. You need all 3 grubs for it to count for the feats of strength. So they're going to both be fighting hard. If a team can get just one, it's normally okay.
Oh. That chase, you see, Won't Back Down's gonna get absolutely blown up, but that's gonna be a triple stun there by Gumby Power. As Injustice going in, he's going ham. One kill gonna get picked up by Gumby Power. Flash over, Fish is gonna get slowly ticked down there with the Renata W. He will get taken out as the grubs are there for the taking. Hecarim is not available. Top side, they're still fighting. The camera goes down to the bot lane as the headshot will finally get the kill there on them, as that's going to be the superior ADC picking up that one. And the grubs are finally going to get taken, and that's going to be a feat of strength going over to the side of Anglers Won't Back Down.
Yeah, the feats of strength are going to be officially picked up. I don't know if anybody on their team has upgraded boots. Not quite yet, so you won't see it upgrade, but that's going to be 6 grubs as well, and they are in a very strong position in this game. 3k gold. And in these fights, a lot of the time, it's the Possum Posse starting them, seeing if they can use this lockdown, the Scatter the Weak, and the Talia, to just burst down this one target. And a lot of the time, they seem able to, but there's just so much damage coming through from almost everybody on the side of the Anglers, with the Renekton, with this Halo Blades Echo, or with the Hecarim, that can just absolutely burst someone, as we might be seeing now. No?
Oh, Nick is trying to bait Gumby in. Gumby does not have the ultimate. Not enough CC coming through. Doesn't quite land the back knockup. But Savior kind of looking around for a couple shenanigans here. There goes the Weaver's Wall trying to catch up, but not quite enough mana to get that knockup here. They're looking around for Blobfish. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Possum Posse, they start these fights, but they're just so burst oriented. They can't really, like, once you blow up somebody else, you can't really deal with anything else, because like we said before at the beginning, this is a peel composition. You can't really be starting these fights on your terms. You have to kind of play into all Anglers' hands and then kind of play around that. But, you know, they're starting these fights. They can't really finish them. That's a 3k deficit here for the side of Possum Posse, as Blob here is top lane, gonna punish X-Ray here. Already has the Leandri's finish. There goes the ultimate there from the Renekton. Had a bit of a brain fart there. Injustice is gonna get knocked up. X-Ray no more mana. He's gonna go in. He's gonna heal up, but that's going to be him flashing away. That's gonna be a big shutdown over and over. But Fish will get taken down. The Ignite ticking, and he will get knocked down. So it's gonna be a 1-for-1 for both these teams. But Gumby's on the wrong side of the rift. Not quite going to land this. He's gonna have to land the stun here. Does still have the ultimate. Does have a blue buff, so he has lower cooldowns. Bot lane. That's gonna be the first tower taken. So those feats of strength are already gone over, but that's just me a lot of extra money going into Comet Cruiser's pocket. Gumby just able to just run out here, as Nick is not able to lock down Gumby, and the Drake's gonna get taken here. So that's pretty much everything going right for Anglers Won't Back Down.
And you can see on the side of Anglers Won't Back Down, 2 of their carries, their Renekton and their Caitlyn, they both have about a 2k individual gold lead. That's where a lot of the gold lead is on Anglers Won't Back Down. And I don't know, I said the Corki needs to get ahead, I feel, and he very much isn't. And with that being said, I think these fights are going to be really quite difficult for him, especially with how far Sion is behind. It's going to take a while for him to be tanky. He will eventually be tanky with just how Sion scales, but it is going to take a minute for him to get there. And currently, Echo, Renekton, and Caitlyn, they all still kind of shred through him as we're approaching this 20-minute Atacon mark.
Yeah, Atacon's probably, I'd probably assume it would be Ruinous this game. It's a pretty bloody game. It's a little one-sided, but 3.9k gold lead in favor of Anglers. But Ruinous did pretty much like between Ruinous and Voracious did get nerfed a good amount.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna like in the what's it the like 0.3 notes, they said they're gonna like amp up the cooldown time of that GA by a good amount, like the time that you're kind of just in the fountain. It's from 5 seconds to like 15. So it's pretty much just is literally just like a 15-second death timer. But yeah, as you said about this Corki, I mean, they're not really funneling gold into him. He's like 2k down from his lane opponent, and he's just been completely getting decimated by Comet Cruiser as the Anglers are going to start up this Rift Herald here. No real prio, so Possum Posse, they're just going to kind of opt to push out these lanes. Adam's going to get jumped upon here, not quite landing the stun, not quite landing the pull. So, but yeah, like Possum Posse are getting put in the dirt, but surprisingly, they're only at about a 3k deficit, but they are going down every single neutral objective.
One thing to say is, as X-Ray's being looked upon here, just Injustice, doing what he's been doing all game, is that the side of Possum Posse still has the ability to do what their composition's done. There's the item on Talia and the item on Syndra. They still do have the ability to find this pick, as maybe they're looking for it now.
Oh, Weaver's Wall, blah fish. He's going in a little bit too deep. He's going right into their faces as a big ult into the backline for won't back down. He will get taken down here. That's a big ultimate interrupting the ultimate from Comet Cruiser. He's trying to walk forward. He's trying to get that kill, but the 50 caliber net will not land, and that's going to be a kill going over. They'll still have the barrier. That's going to be a triple kill going over the Thim as we cast our curse, and the Thim gets a big influx of gold. As Gumby Power, he's going under the tower. He does land the blink. He does still have the ultimate, still wants to pick up one more kill, and that's a big shutdown going over to Gumby Power. He's still going for it. He picks up, pops the ultimate, goes back, picks up the double kill between towers.
A double kill for that Echo, but more importantly, I would say, is the triple kill for the Corki. We said he wasn't getting enough gold in him. He's going to struggle in some of these fights. And then he just got the gold and pretty much closed up the differential between those AD carries. Now like 600 gold between him. That's a crit cloak between them pretty much. So Corki in these fights might actually now start becoming a threat, especially as I was saying, when Talia went in, they still do have the ability to get that key lockdown onto that one opponent. If that opponent is the Echo or the Caitlyn, that takes out a sizable amount of damage from the Angler's composition. But even though it was a really great play, Gumby Powder did pick up those 2 kills as a turret has just been taken on the top side. Did pick up the 2 kills. It's now 5-0-2 on this Echo with the Medjais in the inventory. That's a very strong Echo.
Yeah, Echo is really, really chunky here. X-Ray, he has the heart seal. He has 3 stacks on the heart seal. It's rough in these streets here. You know, at a point, unless you build it in like the first like 10-ish minutes, Heartsteel doesn't you don't really pick it up unless you like expect the game to go on a bit. But a game like this, I mean, what, we're at 19 minutes. It's 22 kills between both these teams. Only 4k deficit in the hole here for Possum Posse. So it's not like anything too crazy here. But right now, this game is kind of breaking even a little bit. I mean, Possum Posse are holding their own pretty well here, as Thim is going to get ulted on by 2 different people, but he's able to just Valkyrie out over the wall. Gumby Power getting 1 stun here. He's going into the backline, trying to do the damage. Thim's going to get rooted up here. He's going to get dashed upon once again. Barely dodges out on the ultimate. Gumby Powder is getting chunked out, not quite landing anything he needs to. That's going to be a big ultimate by Adam, and he's going to pick up that shutdown. He's going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far, and that's going to be the Unleashed Power, picking up the Hecarim. Injustice in the backline. Does have the slice and dice, picking up the stun. That's going to be him going into the backline. Doesn't quite get Thim. He's so low. Thim is still going forward. There comes the Scion. That's going to be a big double knockup. Decimate coming through. Scatter the weak out to 3. And that's going to be him into the thick of it. Blah fish picking up 2. Savior, he's going to get flash away for the Decimate, but it will not be enough as Blah fish picks up a triple. And it's going to be an ace here for the side of Possum Posse.
Yeah, just as Atacon sponsored as well, it is the Ruinous, I believe. Yes, it is.
Honestly, I can't really tell. How can you tell?
I
I
mean,
can't see it.
I know the colors between them are different, but I'm quite colorblind and I can't really remember which one's which. But I think it's the runners who know if a load of Petal spawn or if they get GA, which one it is.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Ruinous is like a bit more red, so I think this one might be Voracious. Oh
no,
nope,
this
I
is
used both
runners.
wrong. Yeah.
Oh, good. So now they're gonna get this big spike of XP. One thing to note, it's a great fight. It puts them right back into this game. With some of those skill shots missing from the sides of the anglers, with them being able to just stay alive and auto attack throughout that whole time, Talia getting in, getting out. It was a great fight. It was exactly what we wanted to see from them. They still don't have an objective other than this Atacon for them to buff. They don't have a single one. No grubs, no dragons. But actually, they might have the Herald. I don't know who got it.
I think nah, it is Anglers got the Herald, but they popped it like
Yeah.
7 minutes ago. So it doesn't
Okay,
even
okay.
matter at that point. So it's like, yeah, Possum
Yeah,
Posse. I mean, they get the Atacon. They only get like they only get the petals. So it doesn't really
yeah,
amount to
they
much
get the
because they nerfed the
petals.
petals last patch or this patch.
Yeah,
So yeah, the
they used to be
Atacon
like
really not amounting
crazy,
to much.
over
Yeah.
level 13 of XP. But now they give less and less as X-Ray's just gonna face check.
He's a pretty beefy boy here as a full
He
stack
is.
conqueror with the full stacked cleaver here. He's just gonna go for it. As members, both teams are starting to converge in this top side here, but X-Ray should be able to walk out here. Is gonna flash away, stun under the tower for Injustice. Not quite gonna land the knockup for Blob, but overall, I mean that's just gonna be a flash down from X-Ray. But you know, you get the Atacon. Baron's not. Oh yeah, I forgot to change the Baron spawns. It's like 24, 25 minutes.
25. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you get the Atacon. Not really much amounting to much, like you said. So it's a little bit rough. You know, they haven't gotten any neutral objective. Anglers have gotten every single one.
Yeah, anglers have got every objective. They're in a very solid state here. So the Baron and the Dragon are actually going to be spawning at around the same time. And it's the Chem Soul, so um as the Possum Posse, they could, if they say we really don't care about them having this soul.
Gumby power flashing backwards. Oh, that's a big of a fumble Rooski flashing it to Nickus, as Blob Fish will pick up that kill, unfortunately. But yeah, back
Yeah,
to what
they
you were
are.
saying.
I was just saying, they could, if they decide we really don't care about you having this Chem Soul, just trade it for the Baron with the Corki coming through, and the Talia also does decent damage. They would get through it quite quickly. But that's a decision they need to make in about 2.5 minutes' time. For now, they are really using this Talia to just be all across the map, get all these turrets down, which they couldn't do when they were behind, because it's now only a 1k gold lead. There isn't really that much of a noticeable lead. If you look at different laners, there's obviously a 2k swing for the anglers in the top side, and there's a 2k swing for the Posse in the jungle. But if you look just across the board, it's not really... There's not really that much gold difference across key members as now Blobfish stopping them from pushing that mid wave.
Yeah, you're right on the nail. You like, it's dead even. It was like only like a 3k gold lead. Blob Fish was keeping it in the game super hard there. They weren't getting any neutrals, but like, it really doesn't matter because like it's a Chemtech soul. Chemtech soul kind of sucks. It's the lowest win rate soul, and it just overall like nobody ever wants it. You trade it away for like a pack of Pringles, but like it's nothing crazy right now. It's only 1k gold lead in favor of anglers, but as we know with this team, I mean, gold leads are deceiving. I mean, they're kind of managing these waves pretty well here. Gumby kind of losing a bit of that power, unfortunately, losing all the stacks on that Mejai's. So probably gonna have to sell that, invest in a little something new here. Looking like a cosmic drive maybe, but a lot of vision getting cleared out here. A lot more on that Baron side here. Very shallow stuff for Possum Posse. So kind of either team can kind of start up this Baron here, but right now they're kind of just slowing the game down here. Gonna probably play for the soul. Might be a bit of a Baron flip for both these teams when that time does come.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We see 50 seconds. It looks like the anglers are opening towards this dragon. They do want to index on the soul. Someone's recalling now. We'll see where he walks out of base. The anglers do have this mid shot, so they have an easier path into Rither, but Blobfish keeps trying to look, keeps trying to poke them down before this objective. 30 seconds till it spawns. We can see Gumby on the bot side. Nikus having to move for this pressure that's being applied as Possum Posse now have this mid shove.
X-Ray,
Nikus has the first move.
Face check here. X-Ray just gonna face check here. Gonna get chunked out super hard here. Not a lot of resistances, so he just gets pretty much popped. So they're gonna have to blindly walk into this Drake here. Gumby does have a very nice flank here on the side. No real vision here for the side of Possum Posse. There goes the parallel convergence here, looking to get a cheeky stun. But that's gonna be a nice scatter of the week from Won't Back Down. Not gonna have that E for another couple seconds here. Trying to look for those crucial picks. They are keeping track of Gumby very well here on the side. To slowly Possum Posse picking up to ground, and that's gonna be a big two-man stun here as the half savior is gonna get chunked out to half HP. There goes the ultimate into the back line. Won't back down. He will get chunked out. He will get taken out. And Thim is going ham. He's going bananas. He's gonna pick up one kill. 3 members going down already for Anglers Won't Die. That's gonna be one going over for X-Ray. He will get taken out. The zombie form is gonna go up. Gumby, he's still going in. Whoa, he just pressed S there. He's gonna stand still. Thim's gonna pick up a double kill. And that's going to be a teleport into the top side. Drake going to be secured for the side of Possum Posse.
Yeah, and it's just Nikus and Blobfish. They're sitting on top of each other, keeping Scion in front of them. And then Comet Cruiser can't get anywhere near the fight. Because if that Scatter the Weak hits on Caitlyn, she will be instantly dead. With this 2.5 item Talia, 2.5 item Syndra, she will just get absolutely nuked. And then the front line is just sitting there, waiting for them to attack them. And then when Pope back down, tries to get into the fight, Renato shields everybody up, splits up the fight with the hostile takeover, and now that's going to be the Baron and the Dragon secured for Possum Posse. And with this great team fighting and great skirmishing, I say secured. One back down here.
Oh, okay, they have a jungler there. Scatter the Weak gonna try to disengage here. Here comes the shot. It's gonna chunk them out a little bit. Savior does not quite have the ultimate. He's gonna get blown up. Holy cow. He has that flash, but he did not opt to use it. X-Ray, he's around looking for Comet Cruiser. But that's going to be the Baron picked up on all 5 members of Possum Posse. As they're now going to have the first goal lead of this game here.
Yeah, they are now well and truly in the lead. They are in control of this game. They still do have to respond to every single dragon if they don't want them to get soul. But they are going to be the ones with mid-shot. They're going to be the ones with access to these lanes, with the ability to fight. And it's just all come from this great team fighting. And especially, it was Blobfish moving into that mid lane and finding that triple kill for Thim with that Weaver's Wall. And it's all just kind of blossomed from there. And X-Ray is pretty much back in the game. Only a 1k gold lead now, but tank items, they cost a lot less money than bruiser items, so they're equal. That Heartsteel is starting to stack, and he's becoming a real tanky threat in the front of these fights.
Yeah, X-Ray is being a real meatbag here. He's full armor, but here comes the flank here in the mid lane. In fear, he's going to get the stun up on Adam. Adam is going to get rooted up here. There goes the hostile takeover only onto 1 member, and that's going to be 1 going over to the side of Anglers. There goes the ultimate into the mid lane by X-Ray. But no more kills looking to come through. No more engage tools. So that's going to be 1 kill going over to the side of Anglers. Going to slow down this push for only a couple seconds here. As Baron is still on the table here. Big stun there by Nikus. Baron's still up for another minute. That's going to be 1 tower going over in that mid-tier 2. But right now they're going to push up that gold lead to about 2.5k here, pushing back Anglers, even though they have a 1-man advantage here.
Yeah, and it's still just in these fights, we're seeing how far back Comet Cruiser has to play to not be in danger. And Nikus and Blobfish, they could just walk along with each other, escorted by Thim and X-Ray. And it's just under constant threat, can't even get
Nikus
in range to auto the minions. As Nikus...
That's rough.
Yeah, left their friends, so they are going to fall. If they can find these isolating picks with that Renekton and stun, that might be their way back into the game, but they're just shoving, and now their map is so open. And it's becoming increasingly difficult for the anglers to play this game, having to respond to all these waves so deep on their own side of the map. It's a minute 30 until that dragon, and it is probably going to be the rapid fire cannon on the Caitlyn. See if that can help out with her auto attacking problems. But I think part of it is Gumby's just sitting on this Medjai's. With especially the lead they had, they feel so weak now. Just don't really have the ability to kill anyone. We certainly can't kill Sion. We can't really hit any of the Corki, Autoleer, or Syndrome with those rocks coming down as they're trying to find the pick onto X-Ray. But
yeah, they're not gonna pick him. You know, that's a tanky boy. They try like Renekton did the full combo, and the shield just blocked everything. Didn't take a single ounce of damage. But like we talked about it at the beginning, like Possum Posse, this comp now they're starting to play towards their comp strength. They're not trying to engage on these plays. They're just purely letting anglers just run into him. Blop Fish gonna get a bit of a chunk here. X-Ray should be fine. Gonna get chunked to about 2/3 HP here. He's gonna have to be a little careful here. There are 4 members topside. As he's all alone, he's gonna get knocked back, stunned up, feared around. Comet Cruiser kiting away, and Injustice gonna pick up that kill. But Gumby is getting jumped on here in the bot side. They're looking for that Drake. Gonna get stunned up. Does still have the ultimate. There he goes. Gonna go back. Gonna get pushed up to about half HP. There goes Parallel Conversion, but won't be enough. Dim is gonna flash forward. Gonna get the shield, actually. So Gumby flashing forward, and he's gonna have to be careful. He's stalling for time, as that's gonna be a top lane inhibitor taken by the side of anglers, as they're Gumby is stalling for so long here. The shield coming through, and he will finally get taken down. That's going to be resets coming over for the side of the Possum Posse. They're going to finally stop this push, but that's a lot of towers taken for the side of anglers. So now they're going to start getting into this driver's seat. Baron not spawning for another minute, but the Chemdrake is on the table. Thim is going to start that up and finally pick up the second neutral objective here for Possum Posse.
Yeah, this is the crucial thing, though, about having these 3 dragons so early, and what that early game advantage and that pressure through bot lane actually gives you, is that you don't have to be there for every dragon. Whereas Possum Posse, if they care about giving up the soul, which, to be said, there is an argument you can just give up this soul, but if they choose not to, they have to be there for every single dragon. And then, even though the anglers were technically behind before that play happened, the gold lead has now evened out again. They've just been able to find this pick onto X-Ray, just overstack and just force on this top line play, and now take that inhibitor. And now, when they were starting to bleed and lose their turrets, they now have super minions pushing through in that top line. Someone is going to have to be up there, and now they can transition it, and they're looking for this bot play.
Oh, Savior is I'm not sure if that dodge was on purpose, but I don't know if all those dodges were on purpose. Well, he just completely walks out with only half his health getting chunked out here. Here comes the sign. He's coming in. He's gonna have to flash away. Comet Cruiser also gonna have to flash away. He's gonna get knocked up, slowed around, and he will get taken down here. So that's a big crucial part. But Gumby is pushing away in the mid lane. He's gonna pick up that mid lane tier 2 resets coming through. They're gonna have to stop that. Scatter the weak onto the Maokai here. Are they gonna get this kill? There we go. That's gonna be the knockback, as here comes the ultimate. Blop Fish able to ult away from that fear, as they're gonna have to get away now. Gumby is all out now. That's gonna be 2 inhibitors taken by the side of Angler. They're playing this map to perfection.
Yeah, even though kills are going to the side of the Possum Posse, the anglers are just constantly applying pressure. They're going in 2 different lanes at once. They're sending their bot lane and their jungler down to this bot side, drawing people away. So when they get sucked into this fight, 4-5 people from the side of Possum Posse, Gumby, with this Lich Bane, with this Nash's Tooth, it's just going to shred through those turrets. As now the Baron is born, people are starting to walk over it. There's lanes being shoved in. It's not the inhibitors you want for the Baron. That would be the bot inhibitor because that's the longest distance to travel for the Baron. But Sion is still going to have to be here to catch these waves to make sure Injustice can't do anything cheeky trying to TP behind them. And it's just now really quite difficult for them to walk in. Saviour's gonna come through, put down some of these saplings,
Yeah,
and
like,
everything's just gonna settle.
Anglers, they realize, their team fighting is not that great. I mean, they have to kind of synchronize that dive onto that singular target, blow up them, but like he's so mobile. He has so much peel tools. So he's not really able to get blown up that easily. So Anglers, they're playing for their strength. They're trying to play for this strong split push. You can't really kill Injustice or Gumby. They have so much mobility. But Possum, they're going to start up this Baron here. It's going to get chunked down so low here. Gumby is going to split push in that bot side here. Teleport for X-Ray here. Weaver's Wall coming through, and that's going to be the Baron secured here by Possum Posse. But that's going to be all members of Anglers going straight mid lane here. They do have a wave, but it's not going to be close enough. I don't think they're going to get anything as the Empower recalls come through. X-Ray, he is going to get aggressed upon under that tower, but he should be fine as the rest of his team is nearby. Nick is going to get that stun onto Injustice, but no damage coming through with the shield. And so that's going to be the Baron secured pretty much uncontested here for Possum Posse. Let's see what they can do with this as Super Minion's starting to roll down at the top in the mid lane.
Yeah, I understand the call if you're saying we don't want to full commit this, try to steal it because that would risk us losing the game. But I don't understand them not walking forward, maybe trying to poke, trying to stall, maybe like just safely trying to find a kill and let Gumby do what he's been doing across the whole map. But it is going to be the tier 2 taken in the bot lane. And now the dragon is spawning in 45 seconds. If the Anglers are going to continue to take this passive approach, they're going to continue to not fight. Gumby should move to the top lane, but I'm starting to get a feeling that it's now or never. The split push won't work forever. Sion's just going to constantly recall, catch these waves, stack up into infinity. Has Savior is...
Savior, he goes in by mistake here. Thim's going to go on a rampage now. So now this is going to blow the game wide open here. Mid lane inhibitor won't spawn for about another minute or so, or 2 minutes here. X-Ray catching all these waves, like you said. They're going to let that inhibitor chunk down that mid, or the cannon minion chunk down that inhibitor tower in the mid lane. So it's going to be a couple more shots and we'll go down. Gumby is using that Nashor's Tooth to great efficiency here. He's going to take that top inhibitor as X-Ray is not able to stop him. But mid inhibitor also goes down for the side of Possum Posse here. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 inhibitor trade. Drake is up on the table. So that's going to be 2 Drakes going over to the side of Possum Posse. Gumby trying to do as much as he can, trying to save this game. With Sion is able just to blow up all these waves here, not really letting Gumby do what he needs to do.
Yeah, and now it's going to be both teams, sorry, on this soul point. As Gumby is...
Oh, that little icon, I think that's the Atacon. That's the Atacon icon. Yeah, so Possum only have 2 Drakes.
Oh, okay. It's like
yeah, because I was looking at it. I didn't know what it was either, but I was pretty sure that's an Atacon, just how red it looks.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't notice anything. No, I didn't really notice it. It did look weird, but okay, so they're only gonna have 2 Chem Drakes now. So they, on the side of the Anglers, they still do have this buffer, but it just, what they're doing, they're opening up this map as we have a pause.
Man.
No, they're just Are we running to break for a pause, or?
Well, we will find out in a second from our producer about what this pause was.
Okay.
But overall, I mean, Possum Posse, they were in the driver's seat for a good minute, but now they're kind of slowing down. They got their foot on the brake a little bit because they really have to quell these split pushers, Like, honestly, I would just send Renekton, just send him off in a split push too. Like, you really don't need him. Like, you have enough with the Maokai and the Hecarim for the engage, and Caitlyn can peel herself pretty good. So, like, just send Renekton and Echo into side lanes. Just try to get them to split the game away. Break open that bot inhibitor. Like, once you break open both side lanes, then the game starts becoming a bit of a pickle. But since the mid and the top lane are so close together, I mean, it doesn't,
Hmm.
it's not as bad. So Possum Posse kind
Yeah.
of dealing with this split push pretty well here. Sion able to
Mhm.
clear out all these waves. You can't really take any towers, especially now that Nexus towers do respawn as we get back into the game.
Yeah, I do feel like they have to do something different though. It can't just be Gumby just being on these side lanes alone, because he's not really effectively drawing pressure anymore, and this Corki is getting ever so close to 5 items, as there's the classic little post-pause stutter. Um, and this Talia is now pretty much full, but his Gumby is going to ult out.
Oh, he gets chunked like crazy, but that's the beauty of Echo. You know, you turn back the
Yep.
time 4 seconds, get full HP again. But Drake's spawning in 3.5 minutes. Baron won't spawn for another 2.5. So right now, it's kind of just both teams just picking up wave after wave. Everybody is pretty much within one full item of getting full build.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, it's kind of just a ticking time bomb, you know, waiting to see Gumby. He's going to go in here, doesn't quite land the dash. Oh, he does hit the dash. That's a good stun brand from Nickus. As Gumby, he's going to get taken out here in the side lane. No more flash, no more ult. He will get taken out. Them is going to go unstoppable here. Reset's coming through to protect that mid lane inhibitor. But nobody is really pushing for it. You don't really need to kill the wave. Just take the inhibitor. So right now, no neutral objectives really. So not really going to be much
Yep.
happening with that kill.
No, just gonna be an extra about 450 gold spread across the team. As it's just going to be farming for a minute and a half, getting up for about like half a minute, getting as strong as we can for this next Baron, and then resetting, getting our wards out on the map, just setting up or picking Injustice.
Wait, what? Oh, what? Did you see that?
Yeah, they
Nickus,
ulted.
he ulted off
First.
rep. You know, he only got 3 balls instead of what, like the 6 max, 7 max you can
Yeah,
get
the
out.
6.
Yeah, they're gonna get that bot tier too. So honestly, it was a little weird, but hey, you know, it worked. You got Justice to
Yeah.
back off. So
Yes.
they're gonna get that bot lane tier 2 here finally. But this game is going on for a while here. I
Yes.
honestly expected a Elder game, but you know, only there have been 5 Drakes taken this entire game so far. Baron spawning up in about 45 seconds here. So now it's going to be a lot of prio being focused onto that mid and top side here, trying to pick up these waves, trying to push them out, trying to see who can get first dibs on that Baron.
I mean, it still could be an Elder game. This really doesn't have all too many signs of stopping, as it's going to be the mid shove contested. The anglers are going to be able to push despite the super minions. And now one thing to note, which it's taken us 42 minutes to do so, Gumby doesn't have TP to be at these fights.
Ooh, Nick is going to have to flash away there as the Weaver's Wall coming through. Gumby is also forced to ult away here. Ping's coming through for the Baron. That's going to be Angler starting up this Baron. Blob Off Fish is not there to contest. It's going to be a 3v4 temporarily here for Possum Posse on this Baron here. This thing is getting chunked down. They're all in the pit. As there goes the ultimate there. There goes the Renata Glass ult going through. Big knockouts coming through inside the Baron pit. And it's going to get stolen by Fish as a double knockup coming through. Thim is going to go dominating. Flash forward by Bob Fish to get that kill. Thim's going over the wall. He's flashing away, and that's going to be a double kill going over the Thim as teleports are coming through for the base, and that might be the end of the game.
That just might be. That should have always been the Angler's Baron when Talia went to the bot side, but used that movement speed to get there quickly enough. They're now hitting on these Nexus turrets. Gumby back, trying his best to clear out these waves as the inhibitor respawn is going to be quickly taken down. The Possum Posse tentative to move forward.
It's a 3v5. They're going to take down 2. That's 1. That's 2 towers going down. The stun coming through from Gumby. Injustice trying to do all he can in the backline, but the slice and dice will not be enough. The knife is too dull. And that's going to be Gumby getting a pop. And that's going to be a game 1 victory going over the Possum Posse.
Well, that was certainly a messy one. Both teams had big swings up, big swings down, but Possum Posse, from about 25 minutes onwards, were just winning every skirmish, winning every team fight, winning around every single objective. And although Echo there did try to cause chaos. It just wasn't enough. Time was always there to stop it. And oof. But no, that was certainly an interesting match.
Yeah, those after like those first like 20 minutes, like it was looking really
Hmm.
rough. But like it was like one single team fight, like around
Yeah.
like the fourth Drake that swung it all the way around, and like Possum
Hmm.
and Posse were in the driver's seat the whole time there. Like Angels,
Yes.
they kind of started like falling apart a little bit. Their team fighting
Hmm.
wasn't really up to par. They kept getting absolutely obliterated every team fight. So they're like, you know what, let's split push. But then after that, the
Yeah.
Scion crushed those plans, and like nothing could really
Hmm.
come afterwards. Like, and Possum Posse
Yeah.
took that game. That was a really long game. That was only game one,
Hmm.
and it
Yes.
was that close.
Could be two more games to go. We will get into draft after just a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get into Game 2 draft between Possum, Posse, and Angels won't back down. They spelled Angels, Anglers wrong
Anglers.
again. Wow, dude. Like, they spelled it wrong again. So, Anglers, they're going to take red side again this game, as draft isn't quite good. Oh, it just started.
Yeah.
So, last game, I mean, the notes we can pick off from last game, I mean, it was just like, Angles, Anglers, I mean, their comp was like really weird because like it didn't really fit together.
Yeah.
Because like you have like this Echo and Renekton, like you have all these champions trying to dive in, but they didn't really sync it up very well to get those crucial targets. They didn't have like quite enough like hard lockdown to keep that Corki down because like he was one Valkyrie and he was out. So
Yes.
so far we're looking at the pretty much the exact same bands from last game. I really don't see any respect bands coming through, so I kind of expect to see like another Corky first pick here. I mean, it did really well, very safe here, very staple. So might see a Corky band here from Anglers, but we'll see because I think last time, what was their third band?
Oh, there's the cookie man. I can't
There it is.
quite remember. It was Ghana, Urgot, and somebody. It doesn't really matter. We are going to get a new AD carry. That might mean Vladimir. There was a Vladimir ban, of course, because
I
they
don't know
do
why
have a
Vladimir is such a weird
because
band in the first phase.
yeah, but they have a Vladimir one trick, I think, on their team.
He plays a lot of Vlad.
Yeah, well, there it is. But it's going to be the Talia as that high priority back for Possum Posse. Still could be a flex, but we did just see it in the hands of Blob Fish last game. We'd expect it to go back into that role, especially after we just saw it had quite a successful game. But in response, it's going to be the Zac.
I think
They do really quite like their flex on the side of the anglers.
I think I don't think Talia E stops the Zac jump, if I remember. It does stun him in midair, but it doesn't like stop the jump from completing, if I remember. Because Talia E is like those weird interactions, like any kind of like movement ability. Like sometimes it'll stop you midair, sometimes it'll just stun you and like still finish the movement. But it's gonna be Zac and Varus picked up here, so a bit of a change up here from Anglers.
Yeah, Varus does have those different two different builds he can go. The lethality if he wants to be pokey from range, or if the composition allows it, he can go toward that on-hit variation of the build, but it's going to be Ezreal picked up in response to very safe AD carries that can farm from a long distance, but also be these big carries in fights. And along with the Ezreal, we're going to have
Ooh,
K'Sante, fun.
Casante first pick for X-Ray here. So that's definitely a pretty sizable change of pace here. Casante, notorious for being one of those champions, being, very OP, but obviously
Yeah.
having a pretty sizable skill curve.
Mhm.
And then, them, once again, getting another really strong scaling safe ADC here in that bot lane. So curious to
Yes.
see what anglers are going to pick here. If they're going to pick their top lane, it's going to be Gnar. So Gnar is also notoriously known to be very good against Cassante throughout most parts of the game here. But obviously, you got to manage that Gnar bar very well going into that mid to late game.
Yeah, both teams are currently drafting like their pro players. Be interesting to see how it figures out, especially in that AD carry in the top row. Zac and Talia both they've definitely seen their times in the pro meta, but more on the edge of it. Varus, Ezreal, Narcosante are definitely all staples of what we see there, and it's going to be the Syndra ban away. Maybe anglers looking to pick up something similar in the mid lane. Is there anything that jumps out of me that Gumby plays? Seems a bit of everything.
Yeah, Gumby plays a lot of assassins. So,
Yeah. Could it be the Pike
a
mid?
bit. Ooh,
That'd be fun. It's
honestly, I like to see Fizz.
I mean the Pike that Gumby plays is in the mid lane. So
Yeah,
got
man,
about
I haven't
12
seen
games in
Pike
it.
mid in a while. Like, I mean, you do have like a
Um
Zac jungle. You have good setup, but like
mhm.
not too much damage.
Yeah, not too much damage. I think it would struggle into the Ezreal Cassante. I'm not all too sure about it, but that being said, it's probably pretty good with Varus, Zac, Gnar and how they like to fight. Just into the comp of Possum Posse, I am not all too sure about it. As the Fizz gets banned away, all these assassins being taken away, Gumby does play a lot of these non-traditional picks, so maybe if we could see one of them pop out, maybe? It's going to be the Leona, so we're going to save it for last. They are going to be able to get the support counter. Maybe if this was pro play, you'd see something like Braum into this. Would be good at stopping what Leona's trying to do, consuming that Varus ult, and is obviously very strong in those early levels with the passive with Ezreal.
Yeah, if we have like a Braum pick or something like that, like it'd pretty much be like the exact same recipe from last game. You have a really strong all-in composition versus like a really strong peel comp. And he's gonna opt for the Poppy here, and it's gonna be Poppy jungle with a Renato once again being put in the support position. So
So they have moved
gonna run that
where
back
this
there.
Talia is going to be. Going
Oh,
to
it's gonna
be
be
moved
jungle.
in the mid lane.
Wait,
And
oh
Poppy
wait,
Junk, unless it's the Poppy mid. I mean, it
wait.
could be.
Oh wait,
You
you're
never
right.
know.
You're right. Actually, you're right.
um,
I'd
yeah.
assume it's
So
Poppy Jungle, but I don't know.
yeah,
Who knows? We'll see. Like you never know
could be.
the
It could be
shenanigans
Renata
here.
mid.
It's gonna be Zeri mid or
Oh,
Varus
sorry
mid.
mid.
Who knows?
I really thought that was Zeri support for some odd reason.
Uh,
Both our brains are getting a little twisted. But
I don't.
yeah, it could be Zeri or the
Uh,
Varus. Varus mid with AP doesn't look too bad this game if that's what they wanted to look towards, and they do need some AP threat. But I think Zeri, no matter where she is gonna have a little bit of a difficult time this game. It's gonna take her a while to be able to kill through Cassante, Poppy. Ezreal's not the best matchup for her. Do you see any Zeri games on anyone's profile?
uh,
Comic Cruiser has
I see it. Yeah, I see it
some Zeri
for their
games.
ADC, but that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. But I mean, it's like Zeri. I don't know. It's like it's such a weird pick. Like if you have
Uh-huh.
last pick and
Hmm.
you pick Zeri, such a short range ADC into so much displacement for the Renata, the Poppy, the Cassante, and the Talia, like Zeri is gonna have a bit of a rough time here. Like, gonna have to pretty much be on skates like the entire game.
Yep.
Like, they're so you have to play immaculate because like it's
Mhm.
so hard. You have so much displacement. You have so much lockdown that if you misstep once, like you're completely taking out the fight. But like you said, like AP Varus, I actually don't mind AP Varus
Mhm.
because lethality is gonna fall off like a rock. You really don't
Yep.
want to play attack speed into a game like with all this displacement. So like AP Varus would do wonders here. You have
Mhm.
that sole AP threat, but for now, I mean,
Yeah.
looking at these comps, I honestly, after last game, I really don't have. I have no idea how this game is gonna go. But do you have any other final closing thoughts here
Yeah,
before we
yeah,
get to
I was just
draft?
gonna say, I think Possum Posse probably is what I'm looking more towards. It seems easier to execute, and it seems like something they executed on well last game. Their style of composition, spiking around these 1-2 items with the Ezreal, with the Talia, and skirmishing around these fights. Poppy granting that additional lockdown, and also it's the Poppy Talia combo. We will talk about that more when we get into the game. We're just gonna throw it to a break for now. We'll be right back with game 2 of week 1.
welcome back everybody to Game 2 of Week 1 of the Summit Premier League between Possum Posse and Anglers Won't Back Down here. Alrighty, we're going to see Comet Cruiser piloting that Zeri in the bot lane, and it's going to be Gumby with that Varus mid. Like, again, you were saying about those unconventional
Yes.
picks. It doesn't get any more unconventional than Varus mid here.
Oof.
So he took Dark Harvest. Not too sure what he's going. I really hope he's leaning towards that AP because there is no AP threats on that team.
Yeah.
But hopefully we're gonna see what happens here. Adam did pick the correct runes this time
Yeah,
around,
got
so
Guardian
hopefully
now.
this game will go pretty well in that early game right
Yay!
now. But right now, nothing too crazy. Both junglers starting up in that top side. There is a slightly shallow ward there for the side of Anglers, but I really don't think that ward's going to really spot anything out.
No, really shouldn't. And both junglers this time, I think you just said, are pathing toward the bot lane. Because last game it was Corki that was this instrumental pick, but this time it's going to be these skirmishing around double 80 carries on the side of the Anglers. Which they really need to make sure they get ahead. Because as you said, there is no real AP threat unless Gumby goes towards this AP, like we hope he will. But even then, that AP comes out all in one big burst, normally to one-shot tank, so they can get through the tank, so it's all gonna be really on this Zeri. And if this Zeri can function and if she can fight well, but it's really difficult with these two anti-dash champions. Cassante just has the ability to take her wherever she wants, and also there's this lockdown coming out from Renata as well. I think it's going to be quite a difficult game for this Zeri to function, especially in some of these early levels as well, where there's just going to be constant pushing from Thin and Atom with the amount of range they have in the bot lane. But should be nothing too interesting. We might see a little skirmish over the crab as Atom is going to get this deep board. It was Gumby moving in to get this vision early game last time. Now it's Won't Back Down, which is going to be spotted in their bot side. As there is no real threat from this early Zac, especially with the Poppy around. Trying to land that elastic slingshot onto Ezreal can also be difficult, as Injustice is still on the bullying arc in these early levels. Really trying to punish X-Ray for some of these tankier picks, put them behind.
Blobfish gonna get first dibs on that bot lane scuttle here, so you're gonna go up one camp here, 28 to 24 CS. But right now, I mean, it's pretty much the business as usual for both these teams. Nick is pushing forward here from that mid lane here, seeing if he can try to get that pick onto Won't Back Down, but he's just going to reset here, hopefully trying to look for that top scuttle, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it. Blobfish going for that first. But X-Ray, I mean, yeah, he's playing these tank picks. It's like, that's a great thing about tanks, you know, like their economy is super low. They don't really have to do much. They're just standing around, but like he's keeping up in CS pretty well here, but did pop the pot, did pop the little biscuit there. So it should be pretty much fine there, soaking up all the XP, picking up pretty much staying even in CS. But Blobfish at a pretty sizable lead here, already taking both scuttles, but hasn't reset quite yet to spend that well-earned gold.
Yeah, I mean, last game, X-Ray's job was quite simple after the fights. It was just follow Gumby around, making sure that he could not do any more damage in the split push, but it's pretty similar in terms of game state to what we saw last time with the bot lane of with the bot lane of Possum's Posse getting all this push and all this priority down in the bot side, and Injustice really bullying and pushing. But the big thing is Gumby, as the engage comes through,
Bot lane. There's gonna be lots of stuns going on to save. You're gonna push back Comet Cruiser. Cruiser gonna get aggressed upon a bit here. PTA gonna get popped. He will get pop that barrier. but that's going to be a very winning trade there for Posse. That's going to be, won't back down, going to get the elastic slingshot into the mid lane here. Flash forward with the ultimate from Gumby. He's going to get the chunk down here. Going to get blow about a quarter HP, 100 more HP left, no more abilities. As Blop Fish is here, not quite going to land into the wall. Aftershock going to get proc, putting up the W here, but not enough damage. Knockback not quite going to land here. Won't back down, does still have that ultimate, so not really any fear. Gumby no more mana, Nickish no more mana. So it's going to be a trade of flashes here from both mid laners.
Yep, flashes both going to be burnt. Fish has the ability and the HP with the level advantage to stay here, help their mid laner crash this wave in, get the free reset for Nickus, and now it's going to be about both junglers walking around, seeing what objective they want. Last time it was a big contest over the grubs. From both sides. Not sure if we will see something similar. There's definitely still the priority in the top lane and the push and the ability to go get these grubs, but Won't Back Down is currently on the Grumpers. Comet Cruiser is just having such a difficult time stepping up to the wave. There's, what, about a 20 CS lead down there in the bot lane. Echoed with a similar story in the top lane.
Yeah, X-Ray get chunked like crazy here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Poppy is starting to up these grubs now, so now they're gonna get the first neutral objective of the game here. To reiterate, you have to get all 3 grubs for it to count as 1 neutral objective. Towards the feats of strength here, already popped 2. Ping's coming out through that bot side here. They do know the Zac is there. Lots of great vision control for the side of Possum Posse this time around. Like, it's almost like we're looking at a completely different team. As there goes the elastic slingshot, gonna get charged up, not gonna happen. Blah Fish coming in mid lane here, but that's gonna be the ult pop. Nice sidestep here from the knockback. So he's just, Gumby is just gonna be able to walk out here. You're gonna get a nice sizable chunk onto Blah Fish. Does have that ultimate there, but elastic slingshot going through, not gonna hit, but does hit the Q there. There goes the E from the Talia, gonna knock back the Zac. Does still have the passive, force the flash away, get to below 100 HP. And that's going to be, Won't Back Down, forced to flash away there from another failed gank in the mid lane here. And Possum Posse leveraging that double range bot lane here. Savior not really able to go on in against this Ezreal and the Renata.
Yeah. One thing I'm starting to notice about the anglers is Gumby is just such an X factor, which really is controlling how the game is played and why it's played. We saw him constantly trying to bully out Blobfish in the last game, put them behind. But I think the thing is, Possum Posse in this more controlled, in this normal game, Blobfish can really play to their fundamentals, play around these objectives, some of these stronger lanes, and really try to control them. I think that's why we're seeing better vision. That's why we're seeing safer laning. And I think that's why the gold is so even in comparison to their early game from last time, where they were put about 3k behind quite early, and they had to make that up with skirmishing. Because this game is a lot slower, we're probably going to see, unless something crazy happens, the voracious Atacon this game. So we'll see both of them, both the different Atacons, sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. You hit it right on.
Yeah.
So that's 2 neutral objectives secured for the side of Possum Posse here. I mean, it's pretty much dead even. Like, nothing's really going on. I mean, like you said before, Possum Posse, they could focus more on their macro. They're kind of just pushing out these lanes, playing the map a little bit more, instead of just constantly fighting, having to worry about, hey, is this team fight going to be our last? But, it's like gold lead in the bot lane here for them, but it is offset by the lead Injustice has in the top lane. That's going to be ult in the mid lane here. Nick is going to get a very nice knockback, but the Soulify will land. All the chain CC, Elastic Slingshot not going to land once again here, but it should be another First blood
Oh.
going over, but the heal coming through, the shield's coming down, and that's going to be a big ultimate from Renata. Double knockup going through, flash forward, Savior gonna get taken down, and that's gonna be the snipe from downtown, but Smite coming through, won't back down, will pick up Nikus, as that's gonna be Zeri coming through with the ultimate big two-man knockup here, flash forward by Comet Cruiser. He's gonna pick up his first kill of the game, and that's gonna be a feat of strength going over to the side of Anglers as a pause is coming through.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the feats of strength picked up. It was a good, nice timing. They found the ability to get Savior up into that mid lane, and I thought the play was doomed when Nickers managed to make it out as the game resumes. I thought the play was doomed. Nickers managed to make it out. Thim managed to use the True Shot Barrage to pick up Savior there in the bot lane, but won't back down. Kept on chasing. Nickers overstayed for too long on just this 1 point of HP,
Yeah,
leading to
them,
Won't Back Down being able to pick up the kill, and then it was Blobfish and Atom. They were kind of stuck in that choke point. Comet Cruiser managed to rotate over, pick up the kill, and Thim was nowhere to be seen in that fight. Picking up the kill for Thim, but now that's the control. That's the gold lead starting to balloon, and importantly, it is the feat of strength. I can never remember what this one is called. It's feat
a
of
feat
warfare.
of warfare.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's now it's a bit of a slight gold lead here, about 1.5K in favor of Anglers. So they still haven't gotten any neutral objectives, so they are one step closer to completing the feats of strength. But it's gonna be the feat of neutral objectives here secured for Possum Posse here, as they do get all 6 grubs here. Oh, that's a really good knockback there. Won't back down, not able to get over the wall here. So this last grub will be secure. Teleport coming through for X-Ray. So that's going to be pretty much 1-for-1 for both sides here, getting their feats of strength. So they're going to need one more feat in order to complete the duo there. But right now they're going to have lane swaps mid lane here. Not sure why, not really anything too secure. But look at the vision control in that bot side. They are really prepping for this Drake spawning in about a minute. But it's probably going to be, what, between a Hex Tech, Chem Tech, or an Ocean Soul here, as Nick is going to get jumped on here. No knockback, finally going to lane here. Comet Cruiser going to get chunked to a little over half HP as the Gnar comes out top side. X-Ray getting chunked out under the tower, but CSing still relatively well relative to all the chunking.
Yeah, still managing to stay in that XP range. XP's even. Pick up the farm when he is allowed, when these grass procs don't start to come through Nickers.
Ooh, mid lane. Gumby. That's pretty slick movement there. As Gumby went for the... I forgot. Malignant's first item. That's kind of interesting. Usually I see like Nash's Tooth, just because like you really want that attack speed pumping out. But right now it's going to be the heroic charge into the wall on that Zachary. Going to pop the ultimate, but not quite going to land it. Finally going to get it in. That's going to be a 2-man solar flare. It's in between sandwich here, as that's going to be Anglers picking up 2 easy kills there from the over aggression, as they're going to put the Zac into the passive form here, trying to see if they can try to get it, but it will not be enough, as the Drake is going to be spawning here. Comet Cruiser does still have the ultimate. He's going to get rooted up here, pop the barrier finally. He's going to pop the ult, going to get pushed back, but that's going to be Thim picking up a big shutdown here, as Comet Cruiser getting a little too close to the sun there. Injustice still pushing up that top side, so Drake still not going to be secured for either side.
Yeah, both teams going to have to reset. Won't Back Down is not resetting, is quite low, so it's probably going to either be late to this Drake or not going to be on full HP, as Injustice is continuing to walk down X-Ray, forcing the recall there. Neither of them have TP, so won't make appearances at this dragon fight. But just before, I think the point of the Malignance is AP Varus has one job, and that's to one-shot somebody.
Elastic Slingshot not going to land, so that's going to be a feat of strength secured for here for the side of Possum Posse. And that's going to be Thim, once again, picking up 3 kills, going on a killing spree here. Once again, picking up a lot of gold here for his team, as the second Drake will be secured for the side of Possum Posse. as them is easily getting loaded up in these games. Is Poppy doing wonders here?
Yeah, Thim and Atom, along with Blobfish, have clawed this gold lead back, secured the objectives, the turrets, which means the feat of strength. And they are also going to be able to pick up this second dragon. So even though kill's not in their favor, it is going to be the objectives which are going their way now. The anglers don't have any objectives secured, so it's a bit like the game state in the last position just flipped. Is this that stutter was taking just a minute? But no, I do think, as I was just saying before, the point of the Malignants is just to one-shot someone, probably X-Ray or Blobfish, because of the max HP damage that comes with the AP scaling. So, Malignants, when you... Oh. And it spreads, you're just leaving floors of... You're just leaving pools of... What's it called when you shred magic?
Hate fog. It's called hate fog. That's the passive.
Yeah, but what's
for the
no,
Malignants.
I mean like the stat which shreds magic resist. It's
Magic.
pen, yeah, magic pen.
Oh, magic pen.
It's just gonna leave pools of magic pen, all along the floor, which is going to make your max health magic damage do even more. So yeah, it's just the idea of I'm gonna land this ult, 3 stacks, WQ it, hopefully that gives them more of an ability to one-shot X-Ray or Blobfish and allow Zeri to clean up the fight on the squishier members. As first items are picked up almost across the board now, but Tim is just continuously applying this pressure with Ezreal. Very good turret taker, especially early in the game with the W ability taking... applying on these turrets, taking them down quickly, along with the Triforce. But it's going to be the Herald setup, sorry, as Injustice moving in, Mega not timing out.
There goes the heroic charge here, popping a W for the Poppy, as that's going to be Zachary getting pulled on in here. He's going to get taken out right as the Herald comes up here, so that's going to be the Herald taken for the side of Possum Posse, as Anglers once again one back down, getting picked off again here right before a crucial objective.
Yeah, it's going to be one back down, being taken down. I think the idea was that Nas said, if we want Herald, we need to do it now. I'm in Mega Null. Just timing that a bit off, which is something that both of us, I think, kind of had the idea of. It's really quite difficult, no matter how good you are, to time the Narbar, time getting angry in the right spots. And they were like, we have to do something, and then they were kind of just caught in the middle. They couldn't go for the Heralds. But Injustice did, sometime in all this mess, take this top turret, which is a small win for him. Still has this about 50 CS lead in the top lane, kind of trumped by the 4 kills Ezreal has. But there are still shining lights. The gold is still pretty much dead even because of Injustice here on the top side. So even though it's not spread quite as evenly as you like, they still do have this amazing dive potential, amazing CC with the Solar Flare, the Chains of Corruption, and then the Elastic Slingshot coming on top of that. They do have great team fights. They just need to find a way to coordinate, which they didn't really do in the last game. Coordinate around these objectives and find the fights and find the angles, as they are looking for little plants of Talia here.
Yeah, they're gathering for that bot lane play here. Elastic Slingshot coming through. Gonna get flashed away from there, but this Solar Flare not gonna land either, but they will secure that tier 1 tower in the bot lane here. Drake not spawning for about another minute 15 here. Ping's coming through, trying to jump on that Ezreal. Mega gonna expire, but Ezreal is very, very safe, so shouldn't be having too much of a problem here. It's gonna be a 1v1 in the mid lane here as he jumps on over with the arcane shift here. Savior coming through. That's gonna be the Elastic Slingshot landing only onto Blobfish. Gonna heroic charge, not quite gonna land the stun. Gumby Power did teleport in. Double teleport coming in for Anglers here, and just gonna hop on over here, flashing over, trying to get that ult into the team. There goes the Elastic Slingshot, gonna get interrupted once again. Gumby Power is all by himself. does not have that ult anymore. Big shutdown going over. First kill going over to Posse as Anglers are going to have to run away. Heroic charge to try to CC up Savior. He will get taken down here eventually. It's going to be Thim. Somebody going to get this kill. Yep, going to get donated over to Thim here as they're going to push down this mid lane tower. Double Grubs doing the work as Drake will be spawning in like about 15 seconds. It's going to be Ocean Soul this game.
Yeah, Ocean Soul, so 2 not very exciting souls in a row. But it's just Thim in these fights, especially around mid lane, is just so effective at pumping out damage. He found the angle to get over the wall. He knew that Comet Cruiser's team wasn't around, could jump on top of Zeri. Knew that Ezreal hard wins that 1v1, especially with the PTA. Props the PTA. Then Zeri's chunk can't be there for the fight. And then it's just continuously pumping out these Qs, hitting won't back down, taking them very low, and then eventually securing the fight, which led to the objective. So it was good play all round, forcing them away from this mid lane. And that is a lot of the advantage you have when you have that mid turret taken, that you can just force them away from the dragon and move toward it yourself, maybe getting a kill or two. But it is the Voracious Atacon. Ping's now starting to come out. This is the revive one. And if we have a bit of downtime, I do have a theory that Amateur Organized League of Legends is the only place where you are going to see both Atacons almost equally. Because some games, they are quieter, like this one. They do look more organized. Like in the oh, Injustice was a hop, actually.
Oh, Injustice gonna land the not quite getting the stun. X-Ray coming through, but he's gonna get stunned up. But X-Ray, only got that 1 KP. Nothing really going on here in the top side. It's kind of just both of them just whacking each other all the time, stacking up those grass. But lots of play around this Otacon. Both teams don't want to give up priority on it. Nickus is on the flank here. That's a flash forward. That's a good pullback from Adam out of the dash. And Comet Cruiser going to get taken down. That's another good pullback from onto Savior, but no more abilities means no more damage. As that's going to be a big kill going on to Comet Cruiser. And that's going to be Thim going godlike here. 7-0-0. Having every single kill for his team. And that's going to be pink going on. Otacon will get started up by the side of Possum Posse.
Yeah, and there's not a lot Possum Posse can do to contest this, especially with the poke that's provided by the Talia and the Ezreal. So they're going to move towards this mid turret. The top pressure is still always going to be there. This is not the Atacon from point 3, this is point 2. So dying gives over 200 gold, but it does not have the 15-second respawn time, so they can still... Oh, there's the damage.
Whoa. Wow. That's AP Varus in action, but that's a big crucial cooldown taken out of the fight here. But that's going to be a mid lane tier 1 and a top tier 2 claimed tier 4 anglers here. Nickus is walking forward, not really scared. He does have the knockback, does have the GA here, as you said. But X-Ray get that GA in the nick of time there. But wow, he was like half HP. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have any MR, but like still, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is
Nickus
going
forward here. He will get the knockback, the pullback onto Gumby as Nickus, he's kiting it out. Blobfish does have the flank here. That's going to be a double knock up in the back line. And that's going to be 2 kills going over to the side. Nar getting into the wall here for the side of Injustice. Forced to flash away, but he will still get taken down there. That's going to be won't back down, put into blob form. And that's going to be a triple kill going over to the Ezreal. 10-0-0. 1 KP missing, but it doesn't even matter. His entire team is working perfectly in tandem here as they're going to look to push down these towers. Zeri finally getting that reset off. And Possum Posse just doing a complete turnaround from what game 1 was like.
Yeah, he's looking like a completely different team transitioning into this mid game. And this is what the Voracious Atacon allows you to do. If Nickus knew that that was going to be like a 30-40 second death timer, if they flashed in and died there, or I think they flashed out but walked in and died there, then they are never ever going for that play. But because they have the Articon, it's like, oh, it's just giving over a bit of gold, and I'll just be like going back to base, and I can get back out on the map instantly. They can walk forward like that and continue to make these plays. They still have 4 of the 5 GAs.
Oh, that's gonna be X-Ray dashing forward there with. Wow, that's not even a tank, and that was a ton of damage. This AP Varus is doing a lot of work, but unfortunately, they're not really getting these crucial team fights that they need. So big chunks coming over on Possum Posse, but they should be able to reset here. Teleport immediately by the Varus into that mid lane here, trying to prep for this Drake. And this is the soul Drake for Possum Posse, so it is going to be a bit of a fight. Even though Ocean Soul did get nerfed a good amount, it's still a pretty good soul, especially against like a lot of this poke coming from the side of anglers. But it looks like this Drake's just gonna go uncontested. They're gonna Possum Posse, they're gonna opt to push out the waves a bit, but they're coming in really late. But there's no more engage tools as Zachary is able to get out. They're gonna leave Savior to die here, 2-man solar flare. But Savior does have the flash, but he will just accept his death like a man. And Dim is gonna go legendary, 11-0-0. It's gonna be a 4v5 on the map. Possum Posse pinging this Baron. They're gonna start that thing up.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to get in if you don't have that Leona layering the CC on top. It's going to be difficult for them to approach, try to lock down this Ezreal, which is already a difficult task with Ezreal having effectively 2 flashes here. So it's going to be the Baron taken down lower and lower.
Gumby does have the ultimate. There goes Zachary going into the back line here, flashing in that back line, but Injustice building up that rage bar. Baron going down to 3k. Nobody is left to go in, but there goes the elastic slingshot. He will knock away the Gnar, so there's no more Gnar. That's going to be a berserk onto Comet Cruiser, and that's going to be a snipe with the True Shot Barrage, so that's a double kill for them, and that's going to be Anglers their game slowly dwindling away here. Gumby only going to get a steal onto the big Raptor. Injustice does have that Gnar bar up. He has it ready. Adam is below half HP, so they might be able to get something here, but they're going to have to go for these desperate miracle plays here.
Yeah, it is just going to be you do have to just jump in for the Baron at that point. It's 7,500 cold lead now. TPs for Tempo in the top lane. Having 2 people pushing down this top. The cannon minion is now barraging onto that middle Nexus turret. Blobfish moving over. Gumby is still strong. If those
slows coming through, and that's a really good stun into the wall. There's Savior. He's going to get taken down once again here. Big ultimate in the backline by Gumby, but not enough stacks on Adam, and he does not get killed. So that's going to be Possum Posse once again getting pushes, and that's going to be X-Ray looking for that Cassante sec, but he will get taken down here. That's going to be damage coming through. He will only live for a couple seconds longer, and that's going to be a kill going over for Injustice, slowing down this Baron push. But here goes the elastic slingshot, only landing onto Adam, but he will live, popping the heal. That's going to be Injustice getting slowed down. Heroic charge going through. He's going to get taken down by the Poppy. Gumby Power going to be in the 1v1 with them, but it will not be enough. Comet Cruiser popping the ultimate, but is not landing those shots. He will get taken down. Popping the berry will not amount to nothing. There goes the hostile takeover, pulling him in. Xavier is going to try to get back to the safety of his fountain, but he will not do anything to stop this victory for Possum Posse, as they're looking to dive this fountain, but instead it's going to be Blobfish getting claimed there. But Possum Posse going to go get a very dominant 2-0 victory over Anglers Won't Back Down.
Yeah, and it's a much, much cleaner game from Possum Posse here, as they are going to claim game 1 of their season 2-0. And it was just a completely different style. Anglers Don't Back Down never really had a look in that game. There was only one kind of moment for them where Cassante got one shot under a tier 2. But it was just a great performance in this second game from Possum Posse, especially coming out from their AD carry Thim. It was a great carry performance on that Ezreal. It felt like they were just doing everything right there. And yeah, I mean, it was an interesting composition from anglers went back down, but we never really got to see it function.
Yeah, it's like it was weird because like they were so passive. Like
Yeah.
they were trying to like force these plays. They're trying to overforce the plays, and then like nothing really kind of came to fruition. Like again, like
Mhm.
Possum Posse drafted a really good uh peel composition, but it was just absolute dominant 2-0 victory
Yep.
here. First game was a little iffy, kind of going back and forth up until 25-minute mark. But then like this second game was just a complete 360 or complete 180, Possum Posse really amped it up a bit. But that will be it for week 1 here. All games will be wrapping up shortly, but
Mhm.
um all the all the records will be posted later on tonight. But do you have any other closing thoughts before we end the stream tonight?
Don't believe so. It was a joy spending these past couple hours with you all, and thank you to your production, to the production of Summit here. It was great. Things ran smoothly for the most part, and yeah, I had a lot of fun.
And that will be it from us tonight. Good night to everybody else. We'll be back next week at around the same time for all these games for week 2 of the Summit Premier League. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.